Wait a minute, I hear something.
Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Blueberry News! Dr. Movie! Dr. Movie! Yeah!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Movie, the show that's normally in a car, but I'm not in a car. I'm actually at my mom's house in one of the bedrooms because this is a special episode. You can already hear the laughing in the background. I decided you people need to be introduced to my sister, who is kind of a movie freak like I am. Probably not as crazy, but we have different spectrums that we watch. But she's a big movie fan too, and she's basically a female version of myself. So it's just time that y'all get introduced. So I'm excited to do this. It's my sister, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi.
I know I sound like a Muppet.
No, you don't. So, just a good opportunity to get together and have some fun. She lives in Chattanooga, and I don't get to see her very often. So, she's home. So, we decided we would get together and do something. Who knows? This may lead into a bunch of other shows that we do online for all you techie kids out there. But yeah, just a little background on my sister. Obviously, we grew up together, but why do you live in Chattanooga? What do you do for a living?
I am a sign language interpreter.
All right, so the whole time that we're talking, you don't know it, but she's doing crazy stuff with her hands.
Not today. I'm off.
Only when she gets paid does
Yes.
she flash the hands. So, but I remember about the time that I graduated. Well, a little later on, but we talk about obviously the movie we're going to talk about, but it brought back a memory of going downtown to the little mom and pop shop. We had a place called Bryant's, right? And Vanessa would go in there and just rent movies, and she would come back and say, I just saw this movie about this rat monkey biting a person. Lo and behold, my sister watched Dead Alive on her own terms. And so that just kind of tells you kind of where our frame of mind is together.
Or how you influenced me at a young age.
Which may be the worst part of it, right? So why did we pick Teen Witch?
Well, I would go to Brian's Video and rent Teen Witch one night, and my friend would rent it the next night, and we would just watch it back and forth at each other's house. We apparently loved it.
So there you go. I mean, that's the whole point of everybody that does podcasting. You want to talk about these movies that mean something to you because it puts you in a specific point in time. Mm-hmm. It's nostalgia.
Yes.
Right? Even if the movie's good or bad.
Right.
Right? So that's kind of what we're doing here with this one. And we're going to talk about Teen Witch, in case you didn't already know from seeing the artwork and stuff, from 1989. A fantasy comedy.
If that's what you want to call it.
I call it a girly movie.
Well, rewatching it, I can see why you would say that.
And it's quite the musical.
Oh, yes.
Which you know how I feel about musicals.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I know. I made you watch this one.
But that's not a problem, right? Let's do a synopsis on it. It says a high school nerd, Louise Miller, they even get specific with the name, learns from psychic Madame Serena that she possesses the magical abilities that will begin working on her 16th birthday. Not a day before, but I guess the day after.
Yes. The day of and after.
When the prophecy proves true, the teenager uses her new powers to get what she always wanted, always desired, popularity. We'll just leave it there. It's more of a dude, right? More than anything else.
It's that and popularity.
It's okay.
It's always about a guy or something like
right.
that.
Well, the reason she wanted the popularity is
Right.
to get the guy.
Right.
So there you go. No big surprises here, except for the witch part, right? Which
And the music.
and yeah. So let's talk about the cast for a minute. Robin Lively. You know her from anything else?
Well, she was actually on 2 episodes of Punky Brewster, which was my favorite
Oh,
show.
that's right. Yeah.
And the leading man was also on 1 episode of Punky Brewster.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have all the Punky Brewster stuff?
I do not, but they actually reference Punky Brewster in the movie.
They did. I remember that. And I was
Yep.
like, wow, no wonder you like this movie. But it was that age group, right?
Yes.
So you talking about all your friends that rented this movie and stuff, so it kind of makes sense. I know her from Karate Kid Part 3.
She was also in Wildcats with Goldie Hawn.
Oh, well, didn't know that. How old has she been there? She wasn't a teenage witch at that point.
That's true. That's true. And then the main guy, Dan, was he played in Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore. Because I was like, I know that
Son-in-Law.
guy. I know that guy. Where else have I seen him?
We need to do Son-in-Law.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We got Zelda Rubinstein in this. From Poltergeist. I mean, stay away from the light, Carol Ann. That's right. Uh-oh. I goofed up my machine here. So we all know who she is, right? The little lady from Poltergeist.
Yes.
We got Joshua John Miller in this. The geeky little brother, right? The
yes.
annoying little nasty brother.
Yes.
I know him from a movie called Near Dark, which has got Lance Hendrickson in it, Bill Paxton, and they're vampires. And it's a really unique tale on vampires. You need to check the movie out. It's really good. And he plays. He was a kid when he got bit, so he never grew old, and he just stays at this age, which becomes frustrating after about 80 years or so, right?
I could imagine.
Because you can't really have a relationship with anybody because there's nobody your age, and so there's that's what I really remember him from more than anything else. I can't think of anybody else. This girl right here looks familiar, Tina Caspary. Oh yeah, she was in Can't Buy Me Love, Mac and Me.
I mean, that should be top billed right there.
My Mom's a Werewolf.
Oh,
I don't know that one.
I don't either.
Hey, you know what? She was in Teen Witch.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Oh. So let's get into this one, all right? So we've kind of done the synopsis and everything. Synapsis.
That's what your brain does.
That's right. I've made that mistake before. So we've got our main character, Louise Miller. Mm-hmm. Nerdy girl. I don't want to say homely, but she's nothing to like. She's nothing to write home about. She's just your average.
It's because her hair was straight when
Right.
she was a nerd.
But it's that fact of her being just the everyday girl, right? That's the appeal of this movie is just like with any guy movie too. You want to see the average Joe become something special. Mm-hmm. Same thing here, right? So really the story is nothing unusual. What's unusual about it is just the interjection of all the songs.
The raps.
The raps.
And I say that with air quotes. Raps.
She is doing her hands, folks.
I am, see.
So you're
Can't
on,
help it.
You're on the clock. Yeah, just she's got a best friend who's also kind of in the same boat. You know, you kind of stick with your own kind, and they're just happy-go-lucky kind of people. They just wish that they were the popular kids. And our main character's got the hots for this guy. What's his name in the movie? I can't remember. Does it matter?
Somewhere.
It don't really matter. Maybe it's Brad or something
It
like
is
that.
Brad. Good job.
There you go. I retained something. So she's got the hots for Brad. He pulls up in a 5.0 Mustang with the top laid back so his hair can blow.
Yes. for her across the street neighbor.
Yeah, who's, the head cheerleader and all this stuff. Super blonde,
Her name's Randa.
Randa.
Yeah. I mean, that had to be a big name back then. Randa.
Don't remember that name at all.
I don't either.
But, so you already start seeing the thing of, gosh, what it would be like to be on the other side. You kind of get that whole thing, right? And she tries and fails miserably. Mm-hmm. She actually gets invited to go. It's a dance. It's a fall fest kind of dance.
Yes.
Hoedown.
Harvest
something. Yeah, because they got hay bales and stuff everywhere. Mm-hmm. But she gets invited to go with Randa's cousin, which is my favorite character in the whole movie. I love this guy.
I'm not surprised.
Because he's terrible.
He is. Yes.
He's kind of got this pompadour hairdo, like Conway Twitty.
Mismatched bow tie, plaid shirt, sweater vest.
Your typical 80s geek, right?
And
So-
glasses. And he actually asked her, "Are you not going to wear glasses tonight?" Because that's all geeks wear. As I'm sitting here with glasses on, by the way.
You're not geeky.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm geeky too, so. But she ends up waiting on this guy to show up, and yeah, to her surprise, he's even geekier than she is.
Oh, yes.
She's not thrilled about it. They go to the dance, but when they get there, she's dressed one way. I think her mom's picked out this outfit.
That does not match. She has on green shoes, green socks, green skirt that goes down to her ankles, and then a plaid shirt and a different striped sweater vest. And her mom says she looks cute and darling or whatever. And then when
Right.
she gets to the school, she changes.
You gotta change, right?
She looked like my Barbie. That was like punk rock Barbie or
Punk
something.
rock Barbie. Because she comes out even wearing shades, I think, at that point, right? Is that
Yes,
true?
Yes, at night.
Yeah, at night, of course. You have to.
I could sing, but I won't.
Yeah, don't. But yeah, I mean, so you get this whole thing of she's trying to do the transformation. And she's trying to get Brad's attention. And she's sitting there with her friend, and she even says these things like, "I wish he would just look my way." And then he does. She's like, "Oh, I just wish he would come over here." Well, he does.
Yeah,
But the intentions are totally different than you think.
right.
So, but, he comes over and says, "Hey, I'm having trouble with my schoolwork,
My English paper.
my English paper. You think you could help me work on my English?" And of course she's going to say, "Yeah, right?" Because it's the hot dude. Any chance you get to get into the graces of somebody, you're going to say, "Yeah, sure, I don't
Well,
mind."
how else are you going to get noticed?
Right. Good point. So that kind of leads to that. And then that night, on the way home, Randa's cousin gets the keys to the car somehow.
They give it to him because they're going to go to a party.
They're going to another party. That's right. So he's driving the car, but he's making all kinds of advances out there and stuff. And then she says, "I wish you would just go away." Is that what she says?
To leave me alone.
Wish
I
you
think.
just leave me alone? And poof, while he's driving down the road, he's gone.
Except for his glasses. So wherever he went, he could not see. And I guess he was no longer a geek, if that's what the standards are.
Yeah, if you take the glasses away. So who knows? But now she's in a car that has no driver that's speeding down the road, so she grabs the steering wheel.
But she never touches the brakes. But it does stop. Her legs are over here.
Maybe she's using these powers.
She had no idea.
Now, has she been to...
I think she did.
Has she been to the psychic
Yes, I think
yet?
it was the night before, or I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, because she wasn't 16 yet.
Well, she is on the bicycle.
Yes.
She was riding down the road on her bicycle, and
She
Brad
gets
runs her off the road.
Runs her off the road, and then it's supposed to start storming, and she winds up at Madame Serena's.
Right. So it's very Rocky Horror in that fashion, right? Because she's out on the road, has the bike accident, has a flat tire, she's having to push her bike, starts raining. She ends up here, so she's going to try to use her phone or whatever.
And she doesn't have a phone.
She don't have a phone because she's psychic.
That's right.
She can call anybody she wants
She
right there
doesn't
with her
need
mouth.
one. And I would be a little freaked out if I opened and there's the poltergeist lady.
Oh, sure.
I'm just going to say.
Yeah, this house is clear. But, so she does a little palm reading on her and stuff and tells her at that point, "Hey, something's going to happen to you when you turn 16.
Which was a week away.
Right. You're going to get these powers, yada, yada." And sure enough, that's what happens. Why? Don't know.
Because she was supposedly alive in the 1600s.
Right. These two have been friends for eons and eons. There's even pictures in like a school yearbook
Yes.
for witches from the 1800s,
16.
1600s,
1600s.
where they are, they're friends. And she's even wearing the little locket that's on this necklace that her theater teacher finds.
Randomly finds.
Oh, that lady
Yes.
is...
She was in a lot of stuff.
She was on Bob Newhart show. What's her name? I can't believe I left her out. Marsha Wallace. Miss Malloy. Mm-hmm. Y'all know her. I mean, she's got the curly red hair. She was in Ghoulies 4? Ghoulies 4, where they go to college. No, that's Ghoulies 3. I'm sorry. Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies go to college. Yeah, because she works for Mike McCarthy in that. Yeah.
I think she's been in a lot of stuff, not just Ghoulies.
Well, she's known for doing the Bob Newhart stuff.
Right.
That's kind of where she, was really popular. So you got this backstory of this is, reincarnation, I guess you want to call it at this point. Don't really matter. We're still trying to chase a dude. That's
Right.
kind of the whole point, right? Let's just take a break and talk about some of these songs. Because I noticed that the director of this movie, I believe, wrote all the songs too.
I don't know.
There's some whiz bangers. There's the whole I Like Boys song in the
Yes.
girls' locker room.
Yes. That magically she comes up and she says, I have a new cheer, and then everybody knows it
Yeah.
and starts dancing to it. And apparently their uniform was a purple bathing suit for their PE class.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyways.
I work in school and we don't do that.
Times have changed.
I guess since 1989 we no longer dress in bathing suits for PE.
Yeah. Maybe they had swim
I don't
class.
I don't think so.
Their hair would have been wet, I
That's
guess.
true.
Or they'd had shower caps on or something.
Something, not that.
But yeah, you get the whole, it's very reminiscent of the Breakfast Club song where they just break out and dance to a song and they're dancing on top of the bookshelves and all that stuff. It's very much like that, right? And it's, I like boys. I like boys.
Over and over again.
Yeah, that's the whole song. That's the new cheer.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how that cheer's going to go over at a ball game.
Well,
Right after you go team, go. Oh, by the way, I like boys.
Yeah.
I like boys. Yay.
I wonder if they take down to their purple bathing suit during the game if they're going to do that.
Well, I mean, it would fit easily under the cheerleading outfits, I guess. But you got that song. You got the one that's infamous, right? We might as well go ahead and talk about it. But the rap.
The Top That
Song, which is, if you look up this movie on YouTube or anywhere, you're going to see just the clip of this song.
I'm going to encourage you to do so because you must see how bad it is. Especially because it starts with I'm hot and you're not.
I'm hot and you're not. And it's a dude saying it.
Yes.
You know? And he's like doing all the arms
He's
and the
very much into it.
popping and locking and or whatever whatever it was at that point. It wasn't popping and
He
locking.
really doesn't have any rhythm, so that's what makes it.
It's where you do the arms wide and you freeze and you put them in together. It's very well, Run DMC used to do it a lot.
Yeah, but they were more on beat.
And the two guys that are there with him, they're just kind of like, yeah, man,
I
you're
know.
awesome.
And every time you see this guy,
They're
he's
there.
rapping.
Yeah.
And those other two are with him, his hype guys, I
And
guess.
yeah, because they don't rap or anything. They're just there going, yeah, all right. They're hype guys. Oh, man. And then this is a scene where our main character and her best friend, who's the other nerd, are riding on their bicycles. And the other nerdy girl just gets out and does a rap battle with this guy.
Well, she wished she had a chance with this guy, so Louise gives her the power to be able to rap with him.
You know what? I never put that together that she made that happen.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought she jumped off the bike and said, watch this.
No.
I'm super nerd. I do nothing but sit at home and work on my rhymes.
She touched her little amulet.
Oh,
Go back
okay.
and
I
watch
guess she
it.
did. I guess she did. Yeah.
She was giving her the power to be equal with him.
I guess I was probably laughing too hard to even notice at the time. So, but yeah, it's hilarious. And possibly not the worst song in the movie either.
That's true.
As ridiculous as it is, there's some other tunes in there I'm just like, wow. Even the opening of this movie.
Which is supposed to look like it's a dream sequence, but
Yeah.
it looks like a music
video. Yeah.
But if you watch it for face value, Brad is chasing Louise, and
Right.
she's constantly trying to get away from him.
Yeah,
So I'm like, he looks like a creep.
right.
Why are you running from him? But that was a dream, so I guess you can't explain that.
Of course, at any time, if she knew she had the power, she could just turn him into a cat or
Yeah.
an animated cat, and then he could do the whole Paula Abdul
Oh,
dance.
that would have been cool. That would have been way cooler.
But yeah, of course, obviously, it's a dream, right?
Right.
Because she's in bed and she wakes up, and it's that thing of, again, wanting the popularity and being a music video, which who don't want to do that?
I don't know, but speaking of turning into something, we haven't talked about the brother. who was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Opening scene, he's under her bed eating a bakery cake and trying to hide it from his mother. He's like, don't tell her. What are you doing?
He is the over-the-top character in this movie that you feel like you have to have one of these in every movie, right? But he is full-blown. It's like he would have been in a John Hughes movie as a side character, almost like a Chet or somebody like that in Weird Science. But he's a younger brother, and just disgusting, does his own thing. Yeah, eating a sheet cake under the bed, that's pretty weird.
Under his sister's bed.
Under his sister's
Not
bed.
Not even his own. I don't know. If I woke up to that.
That weird pizza thing that he's making.
Yes, it looks like marshmallows and all kinds of stuff when she comes in and she tells him he's disgusting and then turns him into a dog.
That's right.
And the only way to change this is to put him in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Totally makes sense.
Water always changes these spells.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I worked with gremlins, I guess. No, that made gremlins.
That made them.
Yikes.
It's an opposite gremlins thing.
The opposite gremlins. But yeah, I mean, and of course, she puts him in the tub and it's a full tub of water
Yes.
with bubbles. I mean, it's a bubble bath.
They were preparing for that. Maybe he was going to go take a bubble bath after he ate that nasty
There's no way that
pizza.
kid ever took a bubble bath.
No, I'm pretty sure he never bathed. I'm not sure why that was there, but I did notice. Oh, okay. Maybe they cut a few scenes. I don't know.
Yeah, it don't matter, right? Again, it's a fantasy comedy.
Right.
Anything can happen.
That's true.
So that's something that's pretty familiar on the show. Is I just say, why did this happen? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works, right? So you kind of have to say, this is a teen movie. Don't really matter. Just enjoy, right? Put your sensibilities behind you and just enjoy a goofy movie.
Right.
So, you get to the point to where she decides she wants to be the most popular kid at school.
And there was a song about that.
Absolutely.
I want to be the most popular girl. That was the name of it. And it said that over and over again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to make the point,
That's
right?
true.
I guess you have to, like a seance, you kind of have to repeat things over and over for it to really happen. So she goes back to Madame Sarita and says, hey, I want to be the most popular girl in school because I just did a whole song about it. And can you make that happen? She's like, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. So she pulls out this book that's as big as most people's bedrooms
Yeah, it's huge.
and shows the potion and the sayings and all the stuff that's got to happen for this to work. So guess what? She becomes the most popular girl at school. Goes to a concert. I can't remember the girl's name.
Sheena or something.
Yeah.
Shauna.
Shauna.
Shauna. You should have remembered that.
And, apparently this is a big act, right? Possibly our main character's favorite artist, I guess. And
Like the Bangles or something.
and they sneak backstage and they trick the guy that's blocking backstage. She makes her name appear
Yes, because she
on
rubs
the
her
wrist,
amulet.
right?
Yes.
And so they get backstage and they're standing off on the side of the stage and Shauna sees them and just come over and goes, hey, I'm glad you're here. I've been looking for you. Or just this weird conversation and just says, here, take this jacket.
Well, she had told her friend she's going to give me her jacket, I think is what she said. She's planning to give me her tour jacket because that was going to make her the most popular girl, I guess.
How's that the tour jacket? I mean, it was
That's
just
what she said. I don't know. I don't write these things.
So she gets the magic jacket
And
and now she's the most popular
yes, that's all
girl
it
in
took.
school.
She
Yeah.
didn't bring her out on stage or anything.
No, didn't get her up, make her do a dance or sing a song about wanting to be the most
It
popular
was
girl in
just the
school.
fact that she had that jean jacket. I mean, I guess at school I'd have been like, that had to
Never
be.
underestimate the power of denim.
And that is true. That is true.
And if you do double denim, piece of cake. I mean, we grew up in this house. We've seen plenty of double denim.
That's true. We have. We have.
So you get outside of that, yeah, and then everything just starts falling into place. Matter of fact, now she's even a cheerleader, right?
And she has curly hair. And again, I'm coming to you with glasses and a curly hair, so I'm halfway there.
So as long as your hair wasn't straight,
Yes.
which it like it used to be,
Yes, I have evolved.
you've evolved. You're almost the most popular kid in school
As
now.
long- if my vision would fix, I'd be fine.
It'd be awesome if you end up being the most popular girl in school, being that you're a teacher at
Yeah,
school.
I know.
So that's like
I mean, I
double
am
whammy.
pretty much up there.
Well, yeah.
I got to be at least top 40.
Never doubted that in my mind, right?
We do have 100 employees, so that is pretty good.
Well, is that counting the kids? Or just
No,
that's just the teachers.
Oh, yes.
So you're even above all the students, though. See, that's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, already. I've only been there 3 years, so.
So she becomes the most popular girl in school and starts hanging out with all the popular kids, and everybody comes up to her, liking her at school, except she's having a problem because her other friend,
Her bestie,
her best friend,
which was Polly.
Polly, okay, is kind of getting left behind in the shuffle, right? Which is what always happens in these stories, right? It always kind of happens. Make sure we're not losing anything here. And you can see the problem here, right? And this happens in every one of these movies. When you get the popularity, there's a price, the consequences.
Right?
You end up leaving your other life behind. I personally even saw that in school. Somebody that probably wasn't that popular all of a sudden got a dose of it, and they were no longer hanging out with the people that they were with all along,
Right.
which is a shame. Just if I want to say on a personal level, I think that was one thing for me in school that was never an issue because I try to be friends with everybody.
I've always been a floater.
Yeah, I mean, and, because everybody's different,
Right.
So, but that's what happens here, and I'm trying to understand the whole meaning of the prom. I mean, I know it's prom,
Right.
but does she decide she don't want to be the most popular girl anymore? Or does she just want Brad? Or because I keep thinking she's going to have this big, turning it around moment,
Right. And there's really not.
but it don't really
There's
happen.
No resolution. She gets Brad and they go to prom.
Yeah.
And she didn't cast a spell on Brad. She had an opportunity to make him fall in love with her, and she wanted it to be genuine, so she didn't.
Right.
And I guess that was the whole thing, is
Right.
that he did choose her.
Didn't want to force him to fall in love with her. She wanted it to happen naturally.
Right.
Which, again,
But she is the most popular girl, so is it off of that?
right.
She'll never know.
Right.
They should do a follow-up movie.
Teen Witch 2, 40 years after.
It wouldn't be called Teen Witch. Middle-aged witch. I don't know. Contact them.
Senior citizen witch. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's really odd about this one, because it really doesn't have that resolute end that you expect, where now she's got the boyfriend, but she's also still friends with Polly. That doesn't really happen. Her brother ends up being okay. I mean, we don't know.
Well, that was because she kept threatening him to change him to a dog.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be scared the rest of his life.
Well, maybe it'll straighten him up. I don't know.
I guess they could show him still living in Mom's
Oh,
basement.
you know who we didn't bring up in this movie?
Who?
Her dad was.
Oh, Darren from Bewitched.
Yeah. Dick Sargent, right?
Yes.
We didn't bring that up. So there you go. There's another slice of Americana for you, right? Which, how do you tie in Teen Witch with Bewitched? There you go. So, kind of a running thing here. You can kind of see what they were trying to do with this.
He did keep calling her Kitten. I thought that was a weird pet name for a daughter. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
who
not
knows?
what my dad called me, but
What did he call you?
Pumpkin?
So, Kitten, Pumpkin.
I don't know. He called all of the girls something with a P. One was Popcorn, one was Peanut. I don't know the other ones. So at least I got Pumpkin. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what he ever called me, but I don't know that it started with a P. Oh. So, yeah, this movie is a strange one because it has all the tropes that you expect from a late 80s, early 90s teen flick. It's still the formula they use nowadays. It hasn't changed.
Right.
That's what's interesting about these kind of movies is, it's still the same formula because all kids want the same thing. They want to be the popular kid in school. They want the hunky guy or the good-looking girl that's unreachable.
Well, they always show that there's kind of a dark side to that because
Sure.
everything is not what you think it would be.
Yep, I could go on a rant about that myself because obviously I married who I married, but there for a while I was going out with the girl that was considered the catch of the school, and there was nothing there. You know, so you can say how awesome it would be to be in that situation, but I don't know. I mean, I ended up with who I'm supposed to end up with.
Oh, absolutely.
So, there's the dark side of all that stuff, like you said. So, are things ever what we really think they're gonna be? Usually the imagination of, well, we always say it's the thrill of the chase, right? More than anything else.
We can use the cliche, the grass is always greener, but it is true.
We could use Eddie Murphy's, where he talks about eating a saltine cracker. But when you haven't had a cracker in a long time, and you think, man, that's a Ritz? Is that a Ritz? Man, that's so good. He said, but after a while, you're like, man, it's just a plain old cracker. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Grass is always greener. I think that probably explains it better. Only if you're a cow, though. There's a lot of people probably have no idea what that really means, but see what we're saying, folks, is if you're a cow, you ever watch cows? If you know what a cow is, right? They have them on farms. Well, if you ever notice, a cow can be in a huge green pasture, but they always want to reach their neck across the fence and get the grass that's on the other side of the fence because they think it's better grass, even though it's exactly the same grass. That's what we're saying. Just in case you didn't know what that meant.
Is that a southern phrase?
Yes.
Oh.
We are all about education here.
Okay. We are. I didn't realize that.
All right. So normally I do a rating of these movies, a 1 through 5. 1 is terrible, 5 is the best. Where do you put this movie on your list?
I'm going to say like a 2.5.
Really? As much as you like it?
I do like it. Well, I guess watching it as an adult is different. And I don't
Sure.
know. Let's see.
Well, I give it a 3.
Well, I mean, I guess I could give it a 3. I really...
No, you give it what you want to give
Let me
it.
think. You caught me off guard, so I have to think now. I mean, it's definitely not a 5.
No. Well, I mean, but it could be to you.
No, it's not. The nostalgia factor is great.
A 5 to you is what? Grease 2?
No. No. Overboard?
Overboard.
That's one of my all-time favorites.
Okay. All right. That is putting the bar up there pretty high.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, it's definitely... I'm gonna say 2.5 still.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, folks. There's our idea of where this movie sits. Even though it's something that she grew up with, she kind of goes, it's kind of middle of the road, and that's perfectly fine. But it does not take away the fact of this movie was one of those that instantly made you want to go. Because we had talked about, what can we talk about on this show? And just out of nowhere, Teen Witch, right?
Yeah.
Because I was throwing like some heavy hitters for me, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, some of these
And
kind
I
of
would
things.
love to do that, but I
We
just felt like we should do Teen Witch first.
I think it's a great start. Because it kind of shows your background, where you're from, going back and revisiting and saying, does it hold up?
I think I would like it more if there was a resolution at the end.
I think so too.
That would have...
It just kind of stops
Yeah.
in the middle of a dance, which all of a sudden, this is another one of those things too. The song starts playing, they start dancing, but then everybody around them starts doing the same dance, like they all know the same dance steps. This is high school kids.
Right. Not how high school is.
I've worked with high school kids doing Great Pretenders. They can't even do something that they're supposed to do together.
yes.
So, and kids do everything last minute, so there's no way they learn this dance stuff.
Right. Definitely would have been no practice.
No, they wouldn't show up. So, all right, well, that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm glad you did this with me.
Me too.
It's fun. So maybe we'll do some more. I'll tell you what, folks, just let me know. Give me some feedback if you enjoyed Rick and Vanessa together, the RV show. This here's an RV. And let me know what you think, and we'll look at doing some more. I'm gonna try to get a situation where she can record back in Chattanooga and me still be home and us kind of do it that way. But this was just a neat opportunity, and I love my sister, so it was just something fun we could do together. So just wanted to share that with everybody. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's it for this episode, and we will check you later.